States. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders. Fantastic turnout, and I thank you all so much for being here tonight. And let me thank Taylor Ryan and Rodney Smith for those very generous introductions. Let me tell you a little bit about what this campaign is about. There are people out there, Donald Trump and others, who are attempting to do what demagogues have always done. And that is, instead of bringing people together to address and solve the real problems that we face, what they try to do is tap the anger and the frustration that people are feeling and then divide us up. So we have a message to Trump and all the others out there who want to divide us up. No, we're not going to hate Latinos. We're not going to hate Muslims. We are going to stand together. Going to stand together and in fact address and solve the real issues facing this country. And when we talk about the real issues, I have to also caution you in this respect. Too often people turn on the TV or they see the front page of the paper and they say, oh, that's the issue. It was on the front page of the paper. It was on TV. What I hope you appreciate is that the only people who can determine what the real issues are you. It's not what's on TV. It's not what some producer believes. And to a significant degree, for obvious reasons, corporate media chooses not to focus on the real issues impacting working people. Yes. First term as president, we will end the disgrace of having more people in jail than any other country on earth. We are going to put our kids into decent jobs and back into school, not into jails. And by the way, we are going to reform a very broken criminal justice system. Together, we are going to end institutional racism in this country. Together, we are going to bring about real police department reform in this country. Right now, at the Federal Controlled Substance Act, marijuana is treated the same way as heroin. Now, Now, we can argue, and there's a lot of debate about the pluses and minuses of marijuana, but no sensible person thinks that marijuana is equivalent to heroin. And that is why I have introduced legislation to take marijuana out of the Federal Controlled Substances Act. And the reason I have introduced that legislation is, honestly, not to encourage anybody to smoke marijuana. So you're laughing, but that's the truth. I smoked marijuana twice, and all I did was cough my guts out. So it didn't work for me. But I do understand other people have had different experiences. But now, when you talk about what goes on in America, there's one simple fact that is so obvious, everybody knows about it, but we don't talk about it. And that is the reason that people are working incredibly long hours is that wages in this country are too damn low. The federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is a starvation wage. We have got to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour over the next few years. And you're going to hear a lot of Republicans talking about family values. They just love families. But you all know what they mean by family values. And what they mean is that no woman in Nevada or in America should have the right to control her own body. I disagree. What they mean by family values is the federal government should defund Planned Parenthood. I disagree. What they mean by family values is that our gay brothers and sisters should not have the right to marry. I disagree. We need to create millions of decent paying jobs. What we need to do is, instead of firing teachers, we should be hiring teachers. Do we have a situation where we have banks that are quote unquote too big to fail? We have bankers who are too big to jail. We're going to change that. Here is you ready for a really radical idea? And that is, even if you are a CEO of a large Wall Street firm, you're going to have to obey the law. When you have a small group of people and financial institutions that have so much economic and political power, the time is now to break them up. The United States campaign finance system has become corrupt, and American democracy is being undermined. You know, the people of Iowa think they have the first caucus in the country. They're wrong. The first caucus was held here in Nevada several months ago by Sheldon Adelson. And what Adelson did is invite a number of Republicans to tell him what they will do for him. And if they say the right words, they will get tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars in campaign contributions. The Koch brothers and a few of their friends, multi-billionaires, are prepared to spend $900 million on this campaign. Brothers and sisters, this is not democracy, this is oligarchy, and we are not going to allow that to continue. In one way or another, and we haven't figured it out yet, either a constitutional amendment or through legislation, one way or another, we are going to pass law which says that in America, if you are 18 years of age or older, you are registered to vote. End of discussion. I am on both the Senate Environmental Committee and the Energy Committee. I have talked to scientists all over the world. The debate is over. Climate change is real. It is caused by human activity, and it is already causing devastating problems throughout the world. In my view, Pope Francis is right when he recently said that we are moving in a suicidal direction in terms of climate and the planet. We have a moral responsibility to lead the world, to work with China and Russia, India, other countries, in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. Now, what this campaign is about, and what I mean by a political revolution, is not just involving millions of people in the political process, but it is also thinking big. We are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, but very few people know that, because almost all of the wealth and new income is going to the people on top. But because we are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, if we get our priorities right, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. Right now, today, there is one major country on earth, one industrialized country, that does not guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child as a right. You're living in that country. Nobody, not Bernie or anybody else, can do it alone. We need a political revolution. We need all people who are part of that revolution. And together, we can transform America. Thank you all.
He's rocks!